Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Now the mathematics, let's understand the mathematics carefully, applying the rules of probability. So we are interested in the best possible tag sequence. The best possible tag sequence is called T star. And T star is argmax of T on probability of T given W. Now, it was the insight of Jelinek and his team that this way one can do part of speech tagging. You apply the Bayes theorem and convert this probability expression into two components, probability of T into probability of W given T. So this is as per Bayes rule, should have been divided by PW, but that is coming only as a scaling factor. That will not influence the ranking at all. We are interested in the best possible tag, and best possible means it's the best. The word best itself means we are interested in ranking all possible tag sequences and choosing the best one. And what is the best possible tag sequence? The tag sequence which has the highest probability. Okay, so there is a very neat formalization of the task, and it has stayed because of its elegance, simplicity, and also because of its efficiency and its result. So we have divided the probability expression into two parts, Pt into Pw given T, and those of you who know who probability have seen Bayes theorem before know that the first term is called prior and the second term is called likelihood. So the prior probability is what is the prior probability of the tag sequence completely unconditioned. Now if the word sequence was also given, then what would be the change in that probability, prior probability? The change will be a multiplication by the likelihood parameter, which is Pw given T. Now this is instructive. There is a reason why part of speech tagging is covered very early, maybe the first topic in the NLP course, because this illustrates very effectively why machine learning comes into picture. So now we have already understood that given the word sequence, many possible tag sequences exist. Now isolating the one which is most appropriate is not a trivial task. We have to resort to probability. Now PT, if we look at PT is actually a joint probability of T0, T1, T2 up to Tn plus 1, which is the dot symbol. Now carefully note the two symbols hat and dot. Hat is called the sentence beginner and dot is called the sentence finisher. Okay, beginner and finisher. So any sentence is preceded by a hat symbol, which you normally don't see in written text, and is finished by a dot symbol or another punctuation mark, could be question mark, exclamation. So this is the tag sequence. So remember that you have to place this sentence beginner and finisher on the data before you use the data for training. Okay, that's very, very important. So sentence beginning, sentence finishing, essentially sentence boundary detection. So at some point of time in the early stages of NLP, when we were students, sentencification used to be a major task. Given a running corpus, how do you isolate the sentences? That question was preceded by another more basic question. How do I tokenize? Okay, how do I get the words or the compound words in a piece of text? So that sentencification question is now not such a difficult question. There are many sentencification programs written in Python, Java, and so on. And also there are sentencification programs which are based on deep learning, tokenization based on deep learning, which make use of sentence vector, word vector, phrase vector, and so on. So all these we will deal with as we go along. We'll always have to make reference to neural representation, vector representation of these entities. So now this is the joint probability. Okay, I would like you to think about why this whole probability of tag sequence is looked upon as a joint probability. Okay, why joint probability? Which events are happening together? Okay, that you think about. Which events are happening together, because that is the joint probability situation. The events that are happening together are the appearance of these tags. The positions are sacrosanct. There are n positions. There are n plus 1 positions. No, n plus 2, sorry. N plus 2 positions, where the first position is always occupied by T0, which is equivalent to hat, and the n position, which is equivalent to the sentence finisher, that is a dot. In between, you have actual words of the sentence. So we are saying, understand this point of view. We are saying that there is a probabilistic process, and that process, sometimes it is called an oracle, which is presenting to you a random sequence, okay, a random sequence, which is a sequence of random variables. What are these random variables? These are values at the positions. What is the value at the second position, third position, fourth position? They are the words. So the words are the values of the random variables, and the random variables are associated with positions. So I have a tag sequence going from 0 to n plus 1. There are n plus 2 positions where you have tag positions, and there are multiple tag sequences possible, and therefore it is a random event, looked upon as a random event, though linguists will not say it is a random event. Okay, it is guided by cognition and our communication ability. So now I have a joint probability situation, and joint probability, as you know, can be broken up into product of conditional probabilities. Okay, this is again Bayes theorem applied in a more general setting. So Pt0 into probability of T1 given T0 into probability of T2 given T1 and T0, probability of T3 given T2, T1, T0, and so on. Ultimately, probability of Tn plus 1, which is nothing but dot, given Tn, Tn minus 1 up to T0. Okay, so this is a straightforward application of law of probability, joint probability expressed as product of conditional probabilities. Now, this is a very cumbersome expression. Okay, you cannot deal with these probability expressions involving many parameters. So what we do is that we apply the Markov independence assumption. We say that T2 depends only on T1. T0 has no influence on T2. T3 depends only on T2, not T1 and T0. So this is known as the bigram assumption. So each quantity here in this product expression is expressed as a random variable conditioned by another random variable. So we have product of Ti given Ti minus 1, I going from 0 to n plus 1. So this is how the prior probability part is processed. Okay, and this is expressed completely in terms of transition probabilities.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
So shouldn't I go from 1 to n plus 1?
No, this is a convention. You actually start with T0, okay? Because when you go further, you will see that the hidden Markov model begins to operate from the T0 state. Okay, so T0 is a kind of root for a search tree. Okay, search tree which is searched during the decoding phase. Okay, so we really do not lose anything. Rather, the treatment becomes more uniform if we start everything at T0. So let's go ahead with that. Okay. So Pt0 is always 1, you are saying, but that's okay. It is fine to put it in the expression. So this is the bigram assumption, and prior probability is expressed as product of transition probabilities, okay, between two subsequent tags, two consecutive tags. Now we come to the likelihood expression, and the likelihood expression is Pw given T. So here again, I apply the chain rule of probability and get a product of conditional probabilities. So Pw0 given T0 to 2n plus 1, which is the whole of T. Then Pw1 given W0 and whole of T. Pw2 given W1 and then W0 and whole of T. So I'm just applying mechanically the chain rule. So Pwn, which is the last word in the sentence, is conditioned on W0 to Wn minus 1 and the whole tag sequence. Okay. Again, this becomes a cumbersome expression. So we make an assumption. which is where I think there was a question from one of the students in the class. What do you mean by saying a word is determined completely by its tag? Okay, what we should say more correctly is that the emission is dependent completely on the state. Okay, the emission is completely dependent on the state. Another expression, the observation is completely dependent on the state. So now for me, the observations are the words and the states are the tags. So this is a strange way of looking at these entities, but this is what is the innovation came from the speech community, that
So
you
can
can apply. Yeah. Is there a question?
So can you so can you please repeat that part again? I didn't understand.
Okay, that part, right? That so this is the joint probability. I think you understood up to that and converted into chain rule. Now the assumption, the word is determined completely by its tag. Actually, the statement is the observation is determined completely by its state. Okay, so here the observations are the words, and the states are the tags. Okay, so that is the way of looking at the problem which came from the ASR community. Okay, so we look upon the tags as states and the words as the observations. Understanding the words to be observations is not difficult. The words are in front of us, but the tags are hidden. Okay, and we have to produce those hidden tags, and that's why we are applying hidden Markov model, not the Markov model as such, but the hidden Markov model. So we are interested in the tag sequence. So when we make that assumption, we see that W0 depends only on T0, W1 depends only on T1, W2 depends only on T2 because of this assumption. Okay, depends on. It is conditioned by that particular tag. So for any position, the word there is influenced completely by the tag there. Okay, that is an assumption which is made, and this is the assumption which has been questioned by linguists many times. And there is a story which actually was denied by Jelinek himself. I mean, so that I was attending the ACL conference, and in that conference, Professor Dr. Jelinek was given the ACL Lifetime Achievement Award, and he was asked, did he really say that whenever I fire the linguist, the accuracy of my system goes up? Did he actually say that? He said that no, I never said this. But this statement has become a frequently quoted statement, okay, in the whole AI machine learning NLP community. Whenever I fire a linguist, the accuracy of my system goes up. Okay, and maybe you can surmise why this statement might have come, because you see, this is the assumption that the observation or the word depends on the state on the tag, but actually the tag depends on the word, to be more correct, linguistically correct. Okay, so how can you really say such things? Oh, no, you cannot do this. So then maybe in a moment of irritation, one might say that linguists are not needed, which is of course completely false. The kind of insights that linguistics brings in is enormous. That is not possible only by computation. So from this expression, we get a product of wi given ti, I going from 0 to n plus 1. And then we have a very nice situation. We have n plus 1 parameters which involve observation or words, and we have n plus 1 parameters which involve only the tags. Okay, so n plus 1 and n plus 1, two n plus 1 parameters, and the first set of parameters are called transition probabilities. Second set of parameters are called lexical probabilities in keeping with the task at hand. This is actually nothing but the emission or the observation probability. So we are nicely in a situation where the established technique of hidden Markov model can now be applied. We have transition probabilities and observation probabilities. Yeah, please.
Could you tell how did you go from the second last step to last step?
This PWI given TI.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yeah,
so
So
Oh,
there is
second
a
last time. Oh, I equal to 1, 2. I see. So, okay. So I see PW0 given T0 is 1 actually. Okay. This is nothing but the probability of the hat symbol given the hat symbol. So the hat symbol is the tag at the first at the 0th position. The hat symbol is also the observation at the 0th position. Okay, so that is 1.
okay.
I could have done the same thing for transition probabilities also. Yeah, I equal to 0. I equal to 0 will be then t minus 1, which is not really defined. Okay, we'll come to those boundary cases after some time, but this is the formulation. So now what I'll do is that I always find that I'm just coming to it. One sec. I always find that I run out of time for question answer, which are placed on the chat box. So I'll always leave 10 minutes for question answer in every class if there are questions. If not, then we'll continue with the discussions. So let me look at the chat box.
Yes, sir. I wanted to. You mentioned that in likelihood, the current word will depend on the previous words and all order tags, but it is possible that a future word can also influence the current word.
Yeah, of course. So NLP is replete with such examples where a particular word is influenced by another word which is long distance away, okay, either on the right or on the left. So these are called long distance dependencies, and dealing with long distance dependencies has been a big headache. Okay, so one of the beautiful examples of long distance dependency is the gender marking on the word. Okay, so Sita school jati hai, Ram school jata hai. Now सीता जो दिल्ली में रहती है, जो एक बड़ा शहर है, स्कूल जाती है. Okay, so you can see that the distance between Sita and Jati Hai has increased a lot. And you can go on embedding text, okay, subordinate clause after subordinate clause, and that will make the influencing word very, very far from the influenced word. Okay, so surely this assumption of Markov independence is not completely linguistically acceptable when it comes to higher level tasks. But part of speech tagging is a shallow parsing task. Okay, so this means that you can decide the part of speech tag by looking at the nearby neighborhood. And it has been empirically found that for English, trigram is enough. For any position, if you look at the tags and the words of previous 2 positions, then you can achieve an accuracy of more than 99%. There is a tagger called clause tagger, which is HMM plus rules, which has achieved this kind of accuracy for English more than 99%. And for Indian languages, we have achieved accuracy close to 90% for Marathi in our lab. For Hindi also above 90%, and there are many other groups which have created part of speech taggers for Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Gujarati, and so on. They have also reported reasonably good accuracy, more than 80-85%. Though 80-85% is not good for subsequent NLP tasks. But the point I'm making is that with a little bit of looking around in the neighborhood, before or after, has given a good accuracy for shallow parsing. And the machine which can look around both ahead and both behind is bi-LSTM, okay, bidirectional LSTM, which has proven to be a very good mechanism for looking around the word, both ahead and behind. So your first assignment will be creating a part of speech tagger for through hidden Markov model, through support vector machine, and through bi-LSTM. Okay, all the 3 techniques you will implement for a part of speech tagger. We will specify the assignment very crisply on the website as well as Moodle, WhatsApp, and MS Teams. And when you implement this, you will get very good insight into how NLP works with machine learning and deep learning. Okay, we'll specify that. So let me take some questions on the chat box. Mohit saying what is an HMM? So we'll do HMM. It is hidden Markov model. Okay, we're going towards that. Who keeps track of all the updates to the AL rule as dictionaries are revised? No. Okay, dictionaries never mention the AL rule. Dictionaries are actually the frequentist resources, frequentist resource. Okay, dictionaries only encode what is the common behavior. So golf commonly used as noun, though in golf stick or golf field, golf is functioning as adjective, but dictionary doesn't care for that. Dictionary says that, well, golf is most frequently, overwhelmingly frequently, is used as noun. So encode this as noun. Then Nuna, okay, Apurva, I think I FaceTime my friend all the time. Would FaceTime here qualify as an example of verbal? Okay, as long as dictionary people are not looking at you. Okay, so we have stealthily said that FaceTime is a noun and not a verb at all. But suddenly dictionary people will one day wake up, okay, and say that no, FaceTime is a verb, and then this example will cease to be a verbal. Ritwan Goswami, I have an example for a verbal. He has to go fast, so he will floor the pedal. Okay, no, but floor is used as a verb. Okay, floor is used as a verb. I was floored by his performance. Okay, Ritwan Goswami, this task is so easy, we don't need to prepare, we'll just wing it. Wing, okay, no, wing is also a verb, I think. English, you will find it difficult because in English, all nouns, almost all nouns act as verb. Okay, you will have to look at other languages, I believe, but I really don't know. Okay, I leave it to your ingenuity and energy and creativity, I would say. There is a site to maintain the knot of a verb word, notverb.com. I have an example of, so this is Ankit Gaur, just a second. Ankit Gaur. There is a site maintained. Ankit, can you speak? I didn't understand your point. So where is Ankit? Ankit seems to have given a nice example. I have an example of a verbal. Dhoni come back to Indian team. Here come back, no. Here come back is a noun. Dhoni come back. Dhoni come back, in fact, is a compound noun. Okay, but thanks for this site, notverb.com. Okay, we'll take a look at this. Pranav Jivan, what is the justification for bigram assumption? Oh, the justification is completely computational. Okay, in fact, English uses trigrams, and another justification bigram is that it squarely fits into the hidden Markov model, which can be drawn on a piece of paper, drawn on a plain surface. Hidden Markov model can also deal with trigrams, but bigram is very nice to represent on a piece of paper and also to teach. Okay, so the justification is completely computational. Pranav Jivan again, won't the probability be dependent on more than just the adjacent word? Of course, it does. So when we go to word sense disambiguation, machine translation, you will see that the probability depends on long distance influencing terms, and we'll have to model that. So deep learning has, taken away a lot of headache from us, lot of modeling headaches. Okay, so a deep learning machine which has the input layer and where the complete input is presented takes care of many of these nitty-gritties which we don't have to worry about. Another model which is good for this kind of long distance two-way dependency is conditional random field. We'll mention conditional random field as we go ahead. Sir, but state at current position is indirectly dependent on all the previous states. Yeah, all of you have similar question. There are influences from other states also. Kaveri's question, in Markov assumption, can we consider k previous word instead of only one previous word? Of course. You can surely consider k previous words, but the complexity of representation and complexity of processing goes up proportionally. Saurav Garg, sir, could you please explain what is lexical probability assumption? Okay, lexical probability assumption is that the observation at a position depends only on the state at that position. Okay, that is the lexical probability assumption, and it is called lexical probability. Actually, more correctly, it is observation probability of hidden Markov model. So I think many of the questions are arising because maybe you have not been exposed to hidden Markov model. So that is the hidden Markov model theory, which I'll take up next. Okay, then many of these questions will get answered. Jayakrishna Padhi, what is Google's SyntaxNet parse-face parser? What does it do? Google's SyntaxNet parse-face parser. Okay, I have heard about the term, and I believe it is a dependency parser, but I'll take a look and tell you. And when we do parsing, remind me of this question. Gangude, the lexical probability assumption, you dropped the sentence beginner because I dropped it because the probability is 1. Bharat Bhatnagar, POS taggers built at a point of time will need revisions as language keeps changing, say after 5-10 years. Nice question. I'll answer it tomorrow. Please remember this.
Question from Smith Suresh. The question was, why didn't you drop the sentence finisher, which is p dot com?
Oh yeah. Of course. That also we can drop, yes, because that probability is also 1, right? Okay, but these questions you will see are answered automatically when you look at the automaton and the algorithm, because you have to deal with many things uniformly. Okay, just wait for the algorithm discussion.